Hello everybody, and welcome back to What Does Jesus Teach? Today we're going to be continuing our Bible study series in 1 Corinthians. Now we are on chapter 7. Let's begin. Heavenly Father, I pray that everybody who listens to this bless, everybody who's watching it, may it be your words that speak through me and not my own. May we all get something from this. Amen. Okay, so chapter 7 verses 1 through 4 say, "Now concerning the things about which you wrote, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. But because of immoralities, each man is to have his own wife, and each woman is to have her own husband. The husband must fulfill his duty to his wife, and likewise also the wife to her husband. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. And likewise also the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does." Paul explains that it's preferable for a man not to be with a woman and stay single. When he says not to touch a woman. However, because of temptation for sexual immorality, he teaches each man should have a wife and each woman should have a husband. Paul confirms that each husband must fulfill his duty to his wife and each wife to her husband. Neither the husband or wife has authority over their own body, but the other one does. Okay. Verses 5 through 7 say, "Stop depriving one another, except by agreement for a time, so that you may devote yourselves to prayer, and come together again so that Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. By this I say by way of concession, not of command. Yet I wish that all men were even as I myself am. However, each man has his own gift from God, one in this manner and another in that." So Paul rebukes the idea of depriving sexually one another unless both are in agreement for the purpose of prayer. However, to make sure you come together again so the enemy doesn't tempt you into immorality. Paul confirms and teaches this not as a command, everyone get married, but rather as a strong suggestion. He wishes more people were like him, but Paul recognizes that each person has their own gift from God, to accomplish. Verses 8 and 9. "But I say to the unmarried and to the widows that it is good for them if they remain even as I. But if they do not have self-control, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn with passion." Okay. So Paul goes back to say that widows and those that are unmarried should remain, single. If they are, then they're doing a good thing. But better to get married if you don't have self-control. He confirms that it is better to get married than to be burning with passion. Remember, Jesus taught that if you remain in lust, you have committed adultery in your heart. So he's basically protecting against exactly that. If you're sitting there lusting and lusting and lusting and lusting, well, that's the same as committing adultery. Better that you get married if you have no control. Now, Paul makes something here absolutely clear. If you can remain single and devote yourself further to the Lord, do so. But if being single is making you vulnerable to sin, then get married instead. One misconception that comes up sometimes is that those who are in the highest office in the church, which are the apostles should never marry. Yet we find Peter, for example, did get married and was still an apostle. Remaining single is a personal decision if you are doing it to devote yourself to the Lord. However, get married if you find self-control as a challenge. As a huge side note, pray regarding the person you're considering to get married with in the future. It makes a big difference. Again, if you have any thoughts to share, please share them. If you like the video, press the like button, dislike if you don't. I prefer to, if you guys leave some comments, it'd be helpful as I can improve these videos. And if you have any questions or something you don't agree with, by all means, let me know. And as always, if you need prayer, let us know at we need prayer too@gmail.com. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.